Now, I know you love rigs, don't you, Gerrard?
Yeah, I do, mate. It's a big part of my carp fishing, actually, rigs, mate.
Yeah, and I keep on hearing you saying to customers in shop, this rig, it's so versatile, So, tell us all about it. I know it's your take on a bottom bait rig, but how do you tie it? Why is it different to everyone else's?
Well, a lot of people, you know now, and who watches this channel, YouTube channel and things like that my rigs are very simple, Brad.
Yes.
I don't overcomplicate things, mate. I like to keep it as simple as I can. The less that there is to go wrong in a rig and on a rig, you've got a bigger percentage of landing that fish, mate.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what I think. And again, choose whatever we say, right? This is just my take on this rig. Everybody might have a different opinion. Don't be shouting down his throats and slagging us off in comments and stuff like that. This is just what I've used and how I've prepared it, shall I say, for years and years and years in my tackle box, mate.
And I think it's a very, very simple little trick. And I know when we explain it, you're going to show us the difference from what I do and when I'm sat at home tying rigs and how I tie them on bank, how I think I'm going to need them and how you do them, because it's such more versatile, isn't it?
It is, Brad, yeah, and it makes a lot of difference, because if you go to a certain water or you're fishing on a river or anything like that, sometimes you'll need to make adjustments to a rig, whether it be bait, larger or smaller, longer hairs, shorter or longer. So this rig's versatile, which provides you with that ammo, shall we say, if you need to change things when you start a session straight away instead of tying other rigs up.
Right, so it shows the difference between one like I would tie and one that's a bit different, and then you can obviously show us how to tie it.
These are my bottom bait rigs. Yeah, these are two of mine. I want you to tell me the difference, what there is between those two rigs.
So the one on the right looks like I've already tied it.
Yeah.
And the one on the left's not tied.
Correct, Brad. Yeah. Well, it is tied. As you can see, it's all ready to go, mate. That is all ready to go. All that needs is a bait on it.
So,
yeah.
So you basically got your loop.
I've done my loop. Well, I've done my loop on my hair.
Yeah.
I've put my bit of silicone tubing on, which I like silicone tubing. I know if you use a ring, obviously there's a lot of people say it can reset itself. There's if a fish blows it out, there's a lot more movement in it. But me personally, I want to know if I've been done. If that tubing's been blown up that shank of that hook, I know that I've been done, so I need to make some changes, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With a ring,
you don't know, do you?
You don't know, mate.
No.
So that's just my take on this bottom bait rig. So, a standard rig, which you can buy out of a shop, is tied like that. Yeah?
Yeah. So
Knotless knot, you've got your air, you've got your loop, but now that air is fixed at a certain length. So if you want to increase the size of your boilie, say from a 15 to a 20 or an 18, and then put a snowman on it, yes, you can use boilie extenders, but you're only guessing the distance between where the bottom of your bait comes to the corner, to the bend of the hook. Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, this is what I do. I'm a big believer in my armour link, which I've talked about many times in videos. Nash armour link, it's got Kevlar running through it, super heavy, abrasion resistant. I won't even go fishing without that. My Fang X hooks, which I use that and that in my German rig, which is very similar to this if you notice. So that's my hook pattern and that's my hook link, and then just a little bit of blowback tubing, obviously on the point of the hook. So this rig, so say that rig that's been tied, pre-tied with a knotless knot, Brad, right? So say I want to change from a 15mm boilie and a 12mm pop-up, a snowman presentation. So I want to change now to a 20mm boilie and a 15mm pop-up, yeah?
Yeah.
So that's pre-tied, so I'm putting that on there. like that. Yeah, can you see that's going up to hook?
Yeah, I see what's going to happen here.
Now you're getting it now, mate, aren't you?
Yeah.
And that's a 15mm. So now, can you see how that? There's nowhere to go.
You've virtually bottomed out, and like you just said, you can probably use them extenders, can't you?
You can use the extenders, but again, I know you get different sizes in it. But this way that I tie my bottom bait rigs, you can actually decide whether you want a longer hair, a shorter hair, smaller baits, larger baits. Yeah?
Yeah.
So all that is, Brad, now you get the Fang X hook. There we go, size 5s. Bit of armour link, £25. Cut that off. We're going to make a loop in the air. Just got another bait in there like that, mate. So I just go through that loop. Pop it through. Just make me loop like that. Yeah?
Yeah.
Trim your little tag end off, which you don't need to because it goes in bait really, mate. Then I get a piece of pre-cut, because that's how they do them at Nash, which is brilliant, saves messing about, they're all the same size as well, so every rig is the same. Just get that there, mate, just get a little latch baiting needle, just wet it, just put that through that tubing of it latch. So my loop is on that end, yeah?
Yeah.
So then I'm going to then thread the silicone tubing over that loop and then onto the hook link, yeah? You see that?
Yeah, can see that.
So what I'm going to do then is get a size 5, just wet it. Put that through, the hook through it. So now, as you can see, that moves up and down, yeah?
So it's adjustable.
So it's adjustable. Now a lot of people, when they're tying rigs at home...
Well, let me just say, now at this point, I'd put 15mm boilie on or get a little loop sizer and just guess.
And exactly.
I'd just guess, because we all do that, don't we?
And guess. So a lot of people now, if they're tying rigs at home, what they'd do is they'd put that through the eye.
Yeah.
They'd do a knotless knot, and then that basically, then they tie the loop on the end, and then that rig's set.
And then that'll go straight into rig box.
Yeah. Well, what I do is, can you see my rigs here, Brad?
Yeah.
I tie them all up, ready, but as you can see, on my bottom baits, there's no knotless knot. It's just through the eye. Now, what this enables me to do is, Brad, say if that's a 15mm boilie, yeah?
Yeah.
So that's a 15mm boilie, so I can put that on there, like that. That's on the air, like that. So now I can decide whether I want to make it a shorter hair or a longer hair.
Right, so for argument's sake then,
Yeah.
let's put on, now we're fishing for big roach here, so we're going to have 2 20mm boilies.
Well, we had a gudgeon on this other day, didn't we?
£42 gudgeon.
Anyway, just a shout out to our one of our favourite watchers. He comments all the time, but he put Dumber and Dumber this time, didn't he?
That's what it means.
So basically, you've got a 20mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So put another one on.
So you've got
It's a big gudgeon, this.
another 20mm.
And then put a 15mm. What are these? No, so we might be able to catch this big gudgeon.
Well, it's looking like it.
Or Loch Ness Monster.
So now, like I said, if I'd been sat at home and I'd tied all these rigs, yeah, you wouldn't be able to do that.
I tell you something, we wouldn't have been able to do it with a boiler extender, would we?
No, you won't be able to do this. But now, that enables me now to decide how long I want my hair before
you put on your hairstyle.
I do.
You're not lost, not.
And then back round. As you can see, so I can put 20 boilies on if I want. I can put one 12mm boilie on, Brad. With all my rigs that's tied up in my rig box, if I get to a lake and I know there's loads of bream in it and I need to go for a bigger hook bait or a bigger snowman, whether it be 24mm or 20mm boilies, or if I'm fishing, I want to use 12mm boilies, I can, anytime I go to that bank, all my rigs are tied up, but I can decide what bait I want to use, and then I can manipulate it up and down that air to what length air I actually want for that lake, and to use the correct bait that I need for that session mate. So basically, it's nothing new, but it's just the way that I tie all my bottom bait rigs up, mate.
Fantastic.
So I hope you all take this into your armoury a little bit. If you're pre-tying all your rigs, like I said, just put it back through your eye, leave your knot off, and then when you get to your lake, you can put your rig on your rod, decide what bait you're using, just move it up and down with a silicone tube, and then you can decide what length hair you want, mate. I'm off fishing now anyway.